Hi, this is David with entry 607 here, walking along this road. I think I recorded here a couple times ago. This is a really large school right here. And this street has like three really big elementary schools that are like 5 levels and like really big, like intensely big. I'm here on you can hear it now. I'm here on a somewhat rainy day. It's kind of riding that line between and cool and like disgustingly humid. It's weird. It oscillates. These kids seem to be on a little break right now. These are definitely elementary school kids, and if I showed you them, I could potentially get in really big trouble, so I won't. But you can definitely hear them because they're loud. What am I saying? What was I saying? So yeah, the weather's okay, but one good point that it seems to be finally, after it's a girls' school here too. After how long it's been, the weather is finally breaking. Like it's finally not interminably hot all the time. Like I think nights now are cooling down significantly into the like low 70s, whereas they were like staying in the high to low 80s or high 70s, low 80s before. We're seeing temperatures that are actually like decent again at night, at least. Right now it feels like it's in the about low to mid 80s, which isn't good, but it's better than what it was when it was in the high 80s. I know I talked about this too much on this series, but I can't really stress to you like how much of an effect weather has like on me. And, like I think like I used to be like a relatively kind of like resilient person in terms of like being able to cope with uncomfortable weather. And I think for the most part cold is still something that I'm fine with. But when it gets really hot here in Korea in particular, I don't know what happens, but like a switch gets flipped and it just becomes terrible. Like I don't really complain that much to other people, I don't think, but like on this thing where it's more of like a personal talk, it like really comes out. And it's weird, like I talked about before, like when I'm in Singapore where it's like hotter and more humid, I'm kind of like okay with that weather. But here, where it's just something about it is just like toxic for me. I can't really say what it is, but just not good. I'm on my way to a newly discovered area I found yesterday, which is so like this area is technically I think like Hongdae still, and it's like behind it. And I found this other area that's behind Hapjeong, which is like the adjoining kind of parts to this not district, but it's an adjoining area to this district. And so I'm gonna go check that area out again. It's much less developed, has like very little in the way of like things. But I did find a ramen place that intrigued me immensely. And when you see ramen here, it's called like Japanese ramen in Korean. And normally they just call it ramen. But actually the spelling is different too. They actually say ramen in Korean when it's like listed on the menu, whereas like when they say ramen in Korean, it comes out a little differently. It sounds more like ramyeon. Myeon is like their word for noodle here, so it like changes a little bit. But ramen is a very Japanese thing, so whatever, that doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm gonna go head over there and check that area out because it is quite intriguing to me to find these little pockets of random things. You know, like generally speaking, like a lot of these areas are boring. You know, there's not a whole lot going on in particular, but finding these little pockets of interesting things to see, to eat, to take pictures of always interests me. So anyway, I'll wrap it up here. Enough rambling. The weather's good. My sister comes in tomorrow back to Seoul, so it should be at least something to look forward to. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you in a couple of days. Bye.